So, like I was saying, you, Marshall.
Look, I'm just
No,
being realistic.
no, that's not. It doesn't matter. Like when you have the number one pick, that's like not just any number one pick, like super touted to be like a savior. Like you have to be. Your optimistic have to be above 500. It's like law,
I don't
Murphy's
know if
law,
I don't know if
like
it has to be.
the law of like all that shit, like just laws.
Look, look. I think as a Bears fan, just watching Caleb Williams, even in these few preseason games, don't get me wrong, he is making great throws. He's making
I
plays
didn't
happen.
say. I'm not saying
But
expect fucking Patrick Mahomes.
I have never nowhere near expected that from anybody. But he's making good throws, but he also has those moments. He threw an intentional grounding when he was not even under that much pressure. Like
How many interceptions?
how many interceptions in his preseason game? None, but he's had like 8 incomplete passes.
Okay, okay,
Look, all I'm
yeah.
saying is
See
all
what
I am
else?
saying is I would be proud to see the 8 and 9, and if they do better, good on them. Like, prove me
Proud to
wrong.
see it 8 and 9. What kind of
That's it. I like it.
Fucking do it.
Realistic. It's
Like,
realistic. It's realistic.
I want them to prove me wrong, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to expect them to take the division when
see?
you have a team like the Lions, who just came out of being the
Sec
best team in the NFC North.
Sexy Rexy has you know, destroyed your mentality. I'm just gonna say that.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
He ruined me.
That mentality can get fixed if they pull this off. But
I just
Yeah. And
I'm not gonna set myself up.
be happier.
and then too, it's good because if they exceed that, then you can like really be. You're like, oh man, I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting
then
this.
I can be really
What if
annoying.
you're jinxing yourself to have
Don't
a
set
bad
yourself
record?
up for disappointment.
What if
I
you're
like it.
jinxing yourself to have a bad record?
What is the Eagles record gonna be?
I
There
don't know. But I
I
said 11 and 5. Like that's
And to me, that seems kind of wild.
that is
But we'll have
wild.
to see.
It is wild. It's wild. But the reason why is because last year was so bad. Obviously, aberration from what Jalen Hurts was, and we went to the Super Bowl. I didn't say we're going to the Super Bowl. I just said I believe our record could be 11-5. Would I
Yeah.
be disappointed if it's not 11-5? Not too much. Would I be disappointed if it's 8-9? Yes.
If you're
And
saying
Jalen
your
Hurts is
guys are a
not that far.
historically
Jalen
good
Hurts is
team,
not that far removed from Caleb Williams' position. Have a little bit more faith.
I'm not gonna say that because he played like look. If we want to talk about
That
Caleb
was
Williams,
what. Look,
fine.
look.
He
Going
he
to the
played.
Super Bowl and outplaying Patrick Mahomes, even though he lost. Like Patrick Mahomes and their team just played a better game, but like he's been like he's just insane. Like
I think he just proved the point.
That year was insane. So you gotta have a little bit of faith. I mean, what like our records have been ridiculous. Even last
So,
year,
like,
even though I didn't have any faith in last year, we were still like 8-1. We were
I
like
mean, okay,
8-0
yeah, but
at one point. Like, just gotta like just say 9-8. Do
See,
it.
I'm telling you, man,
Say
he's
9
been
and 8.
spoiled as the Eagles fan. You don't even realize it.
Say 9-8.
okay, but like you yourself
Say
just
it.
said,
9-8.
just said
9
Jalen
and 8.
Hurts was a great quarterback,
9
but
and
he
8.
got outdid by a team that played as a team, and that
Just
means
say
a
a
world of
winning
difference.
9-8.
Is it, no, it would be 9-7, right? 9-7?
Yeah,
Yeah, 9-7.
You say 8-9, right?
I think I did.
No, it would be 8-8. 8-8.
8-8.
Just
Either way, look,
Look,
like,
all
500.
right. So I'm gonna keep it solid with y'all. So the Cardinals on the low, because they are looking dangerous, but I'm not sure if I'm a believer. I'm gonna say 7-9 on the low, and then if they really go out there, I ice and
right.
everything and killing stuff, I'm gonna let them take a 9 and 7 at the
All
high
right,
note
do that.
and
Do
sneak
that.
in
Give
through
us a
wild
low
card.
and a high. Give us a low and a high. I
All right.
swear to God, if your high is 8 and 9, I'm gonna scream.
It's a 9.
Fucking hate you.
Look. All right, fine. If I had to go with a high,
So you admit that was your low.
If I had to, 10-6.
Hey, look. I said 11 and 5.
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's fine. That's fine. That's the beauty of it. That's the fun. Disappointment, the ability to be disappointed.
No, the ability to be happily surprised is what I'm going for at this point.
Because you know what would be worse than actually not hitting that and actually being bad would be if
how they had an 0-7 start.
If
that was awful.
If you said realistically and only made one choice and said my realistic choice is 8 and 9 under 500. And if you're worse than that, that'd feel worse than if you actually said a ridiculous number.
Oh, listen, I'm a Bears fan and I'm a Cubs fan. I understand pain. All right,
you can't hurt me.
Sticks and stones.
Fine. All right, we've been on football too long. I can't get him to be happy. I've tried America.
Stand my ground.
I will.
I may be the man in the middle sometimes, but damn it, I will stand there strong.
But all right. So I do know you have some video game stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
So I'll let you take the floor before I get into a little bit of stuff I have on.
See, I don't know if you guys have heard of this game, but it gives me all the feels of a great mixture of like, let's see, like Heavy Rain, a great detective game, kind of like LA Noire. Also, like with the feels of, like I said, Heavy Rain, where you get to like every decision you make affects the overall story of the game, like Detroit Become Human, things like that. My God, like this game, Nobody Wants to Die, truly blew me out of the water. Like it's a short, sweet, fun game where you get to play as a New York detective in the future, but the future itself has that BioShock feel where it's still the old school car frames, but they're being propelled by these like great like propulsion motors and everything like that. A lot of like neon signage. It's such a cool kind of steampunky-esque feeling. And the way the story lays out, like I said, you're a detective who can more or less use this gadget on your wrist that helps you go through time so you can view crimes as they're happening. And then it lets you build the puzzle pieces together, and then it lets you determine which like path you're going to take with the evidence you have. So like if you don't get all the evidence within the time frame of the game itself, because the game will cut you off if you sit there too long trying to make a decision. So that's like a very fun aspect of it too, where it's keeping you on your toes and trying to make you like critically think in a way that you're trying to solve the crime. And there's like also that aspect of like Ghost and Wire where you have that terrorist that is like hacking into people's brains and like making their bodies do stuff. Because then it also has a carbon or altered carbon aspect, like the Netflix show and the book, where people's like the essence or like their soul is put on like a disc that can be moved into different bodies. So you're also getting that aspect where your character has had like 4 different bodies. His original one was a professional baseball player. He got hurt. And then he went through 2 other ones. And the one you're playing as most recently, the physical body came from a drug addict. So then you have to deal with the physical repercussions of that, where the body, the husk of it is like craving the drugs. So it's a wild game. They throw a lot in there. It was so much fun. Like to play a full story, my playthrough, it was just like a day. Like I got through it in like 8 hours, and it was still like it kept you involved. And there's other endings to it too that I haven't even seen yet. So totally worth it.
Yeah, I was looking at it right now. So it's got some pretty high ratings. I'm liking the price tag on it for Xbox
It's
right
a
now.
steal. It is truly a
Yeah, for
steal.
25 for $25 and some change. Um Now I'm curious, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So how is so like your decisions are they change the story, but like
Mhm.
how's your like freedom of movement through this world? Is it pretty linear?
Yeah, like it's nowhere near
Okay.
as open world as like, Red Dead or anything like that. You're very much like it will put you in the setting and then you can kind of explore that specific setting. But as far as like choosing like a destination on a map, that's not really part of what happens.
Have you played The Quarry?
Yes,
Is
fucking
it
love
kind of
that
like
game.
that?
It's yeah, in that sense. Yeah,
Okay.
with like you're
Okay.
exploring.
Okay. Okay. So that might be something I we try out on the stream. I was just checking it out. I
Yeah,
haven't
100%. Because like it's such an involved story, just the way everything plays out. Because it hits on that fact of this guy is starting his life over, or at least he's trying to, but like all these ghosts are still coming back to haunt him. Because like he goes through the trauma like of losing a professional baseball career to an injury and then all of a sudden becoming a like detective for the New York Police Department and just like everything that happens to him in between that. You don't get to see or experience a lot of it, but they do a great job at referencing it.
okay. Yeah, see that seems like something I would play, like a late night type of type of deal.
100%.
Like
Yeah,
some neon lights types. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Like I was like, huh, I've never heard of this. That
it was
seems to
so under the
be
radar.
yeah, that seems to be the way to like if you want to find like the next like game, you kind of have to go off of the main road because like everything is pretty much like a open world
Right,
type thing. And sometimes it's like, yo, just put me in here, give me some exploration, but like tell me what to do.
right. Like
Okay.
it gets back to a sense of linear gaming that has kind of been broken apart because you had a lot of that in like the early Call of Duty games where they very much split it up between story and online. So they were attacking both aspects of it. But the linear storyline has just been getting lost in the gaming industry, at least in my opinion, because of a lot of the battle royale games that are coming out. But don't get me wrong, those are still fun. But
Yeah, no, I
the
agree.
linear story, I think, gets thrown into the background because that's what a lot of people want to see when they watch streamers is the battle royale stuff. But
Yeah.
I think having a game like this where there's truly a great story can draw in just as many viewers.
No, I like stuff like that would be interesting to try. I think I'll try that. Um, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you rating it? I want to see what you rated it
I
compared
I
to
I rate it
what I've
like
seen here.
I probably would rate it like 9.1.
Okay.
I truly loved it.
That's a good grade.
Yeah, I know. I truly loved it.
So
It was
I'm
just
gonna
it was a pleasant surprise.
I'm gonna show you what I'll tell you what the ratings are. So on Steam, this game got a 9 out of 10. On PC games, this game got an 8 out of 10.
Mhm.
Metacritic, this game got a 78%. And on
Mm.
IGN, this game got a 7 out of 10.
So
So again, that's pretty decent, especially like if you're taking the price. Like,
yeah,
when's the last time Madden got a 9?
right,
You know what I mean? But
exactly.
yet people are paying all
Yeah.
that. So it's like right here, based on that review, it's like for 25 bucks. So on PlayStation, 25 bucks. Xbox, yeah, 25 bucks. You're gonna get a pretty like decent game if you immerse yourself in it.
Yeah,
So
you're getting so much for your money. Like, because again, it's a game where every single decision you make is going to affect the overall outcome.
yeah, I
So
like stuff like that where you can
yeah,
have multiple endings because that's
exactly.
that's exactly how the query was. Like I remember I played both times on stream and the endings and what happened were completely different. Like one we went down this crazy rabbit hole and found we found Silas, like if you
Hmm.
played the game. And
Oh
then
yeah.
one it was just Brenda Song and the other guy. Brenda Song becomes a werewolf
Yeah,
in one of the endings, and I was just like, oh, but yeah, like that would be interesting. So yes, be on the lookout for that. We'll play that over on Flame On Games here when I get back from my trip for
dude,
25
yeah,
bucks. Sign me up.
like 100% worth it, and everyone's
Yeah,
gonna enjoy it, and it will just drive more people to it
no,
because I
most
think
definitely.
it does people good that it's just one of those things where you get to see everybody's different opinion in a sense.
Yeah.
So being
Okay.
able to see somebody else do it first is like kind of the big, I think, push behind it.
Have you what do you play on mostly for your games?
I use my PS5.
Oh, so have you played Stellar Blade?
I haven't not, and I've
Man,
heard nothing but great things.
so like I started streaming it and like I need to play it more, but Diablo just came and just Diablo is fucking fun right now. Like Diablo is so fun
Mm.
to just get on there and just kill hordes of enemies and like find all this crazy loot that did like but before I started getting on Diablo, I started playing through Stellar Blade, man. That game, the graphics, um, the story, I'm not like I get what's going on, but it's like I'm gonna be honest, like so compared to the combat and what I'm doing, whenever
Right.
the story starts happening, I'm just like, oh, shut the fuck up. You know, like it just doesn't grip. Yeah,
You're
like
interrupting the flow.
yeah, I'm just like, dude, this like it's like this like the story is like for me, it's been like kind of just like, eh. It's like let's go back to like smashing these things and doing these ridiculous combos. It has
Mhm.
like a Devil May Cry slash like Elden Ring slash like there's so many like combinations for this game that it's really ridiculous. And like I look at the scores for this one, um, let me see. This game, again, like this is one of those other games that kind of just like came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, and I think this is like a great testament too to like a lot of these smaller gaming industries or like gaming companies because with like the mass layoffs that have been happening at like Microsoft, Sony, and all the bigger names, just seeing a game coming from like a small developer, well, they're not even that small, but like a group that's not necessarily as known is just it's
Yeah,
always a great feeling.
you know what it is, man, and I tell people this, man. It's the manufacturer fucking effect. You know, it's like everything starts off good when it's like the small batch. You know, you go, you're like, man,
Right,
this place is bomb, and then it grows, and it's like these people over here are here for the money because it grew, and they're not here for the passion. And like
right,
that's why those smaller studios are dope. Like you can see like corporate because games are now corporate. You can see corporate gaming now. It's just like, oh, the same, like at the base, it's the same game. You know, you're dropped
right.
into some map. There's probably going to be either like a story where you move through this map. You may have to come back to this area at another time, or
Mm,
it's a battle royale where you're just in this map and all this other stuff is going. You know, it's just like, but like there, whenever there's people that are passionate about their games,
right,
you see it. They come and they just like, for instance, like one IP that barely misses ever is Zelda. And
yeah,
they're not even
forever.
on the most fucking like powerful console. It's just because
Oh, by
like
no
the
means.
people that make it care. They're geared towards making the most out of whatever they have, they're gonna make the most of it and still tell their story. And
Oh yeah,
you love things like that because it's like it's not about just the money. Like, yeah, you could make money, but like there's the love there too, as well. And
yeah.
then same thing I feel like with Final Fantasy, you know, it's hit and miss, but like one thing that nobody ever says was, man, that Final Fantasy was an ugly ass game. It's like
Yeah, never will
they
they.
go out of their way to make sure that what you're looking at is going to just be visually stunning, even more visually stunning than like the best game out at the time. Like I was
Oh yeah.
playing the last Final Fantasy with Clive, and like You know, it wasn't the strongest title, but like I remember the combat was very strong and like the graphics, it was like it was like holy shit. Like you're
Yeah.
the Iron Giant. You've seen this thing multiple times on every Final Fantasy, but then like this one, it was just like, man, this one looks really like good. It's like really strong. The chocobos, very strong. Fucking not the the chocobos,
Yeah,
very
chocobos.
strong. And then because I'm thinking too, because I also played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and woo-wee.
Man, that was perfect. That I
Man, man, that game, like, and I'm gonna do another playthrough. Like that game fucked me up, man, because I was wishing and I was hoping some part of me that they would let Aerith like just kind of squeak through. You know, I was like,
do
oh,
well.
they're gonna change it just a little
It's a
bit.
remaster. You can do that. It's fine.
Yeah. I was like, yo, they're gonna change it up a little bit. Man, but like that end where you're getting on that plane and he's fucking talking to her and she, bro, like I had to like, yo, like I remember that stream, bro. I kind of had to put the fucking controller down for a
Yep.
minute because it was like, yo, like this is full circle, but it's full circle in a way where like now I'm in the world. Like, because back then you were looking down at Final Fantasy. Like it was always that top-down view. So like you felt you were there, but you felt like you were just kind of like standing over the world and you were like kind of like the god there, you know, omnipotent, you know. But now when you're immersed in these places become blown out and you're like walking in the temple of the ancients, even the way that thing formed. Do you remember how like
oh my God.
Like how that shit, I was just like man, oh man, I
the
just
shock and awe factor is just, you can't beat it.
Yeah, you were just like, yo, what? Even too, like, you know, Sid's coming, but then when you see him and you're just like, man, Vince, oh, like because it has one of the most like stellar like cast of like supporting characters.
Oh yeah,
ever, like all those characters are so dope, and then to just see them like drawn out in their own ways and look completely different, and then like. If you loved Final Fantasy and you went into the world and you played Crisis Core, and then like to go into the world and like see like characters from Crisis Core that weren't in the original, but now you know, like when you go to Zach's hometown and you see Sisane from Crisis Core,
dude,
the Turks. Like, dude, I was like, they did it. They like what?
Like they did nothing but great by the fan base. Yeah. And like what they also just did a great job with is bringing new people into it. Just like with the overall style, like you're saying, making it way more immersive is just what made people, they were like, oh, this actually looks really cool. Because like I get the top-down view just isn't for everybody. And like I get it. Like I do. I can understand how like you don't want to get invested in that because you're like, well, it reminds me of like chess and I don't like chess. And it's like, well, okay, fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I just the way of truly being like, how can we satisfy these new people, but truly pay homage to the people that have been playing since like day one.
Yeah.
Where like you saw like Cloud swim around playing the fucking game. Oh God, what I can't think of what it's actually called, but like when they're basically playing their version of basketball in some of the original Final Fantasy games, where you start off as like that player of the team, and oh God, it just again having that feeling again, but in a super detailed version is just everything.
The first area, man, the grasslands where you go to the Calm, the first city, like after, like when you go outside of there and you're like in the grasslands and you see the blades of grass, and then you go up to like the swamp of the Midgar Zolom where that gigantic snake where like literally it's like this little square, and you run through, and there's this little like snake that goes through, and then
Mhm.
they turn that to this entire like cutscene, bro.
Right.
Hella that, but just all these games, man, all of these games, bro. Like I love, like I'm loving it. Right now on the list is Rise of the Ronin. I got to try that. That's on the
Yo,
PlayStation.
that is so much fun.
Are
Like,
you playing it right now?
um, no, I'm not playing it right now. I'm actually getting back into Baldur's Gate 3 right now just because
Okay.
I'm in such a game rut that like especially after playing like just the most recent stuff I have, I'm like I need to keep going with like story driven and like kind of grinding it out because I'm waiting for the new Dragon Age game to come out in October.
Oh, yes.
Like I desperately need that to happen. Like like again, gaming
You've
itself.
played all those too? You've played all the
My
Dragon
God,
Ages?
yeah, like
Oh my God,
they
what a
that
series.
whole BioWare team that did Dragon Age and Mass Effect has my heart. Because Mass
Yeah.
Effect is my favorite game series of all time. I've said it multiple times, and nothing will ever change that. And then being able to get into Dragon Age like that too, man, like I'm so pumped for the new one. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah, my
new
lady got
Dragon
me Dragon
Age.
Age on
Woo!
accident, bro.
Mhm.
She got me, it's like I wanted her to get me The Witcher, and I
Witcher's
showed her like
great
a
too.
graphic,
That's an
and she
easy
brought
mix
home
up.
Dragon Age. So
That's an easy mix up.
like I ended up playing and the
Inquisition.
first one, just
Oh,
the first one, Origins, and it was so good. Like I was like, dude, this game is so dope. That's the one with
Mm.
Morgan and the original Grey Wardens and
Yep.
fucking Alistair and Lothran. And then fucking Dragon Age 2 was the one where that's the one with Isabella. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, you have Isabella. I forget who else is on that
Um,
one. And then the third one is Inquisition,
and
right?
yep, yeah.
Inquisition, I think was my game of the year when that
One of
came
the
out.
best games I've
Yeah,
played.
Dragon Age Inquisition was lit. That game was super dope. I wish that the multiplayer worked out a little bit better on that one.
Yeah.
Rise of the Ronin,
Yeah.
really?
That how much fun that was.
Yeah, I want to play that. Black Myth Wukong.
That was
Uh,
dope.
yeah. There's just so many games that are coming out that I'm excited for. I saw one the other day on Xbox that I was just like, "What?" I'm gonna see real quick. Just check it out. Just see what it was. But there
Yo,
was,
is it the Cajun game or like the game that's like based in the Deep South? Because it made me want to get a new Xbox.
yeah, no. So I don't. Hold on. Let me see. Look, because I always every day I go over here to this like games coming soon. What was it? I remember just going through. What was it? Oh, okay. It was that fucking Space Marine, that Warhammer Space
Oh,
Marine. That shit
that
looks
looks dope.
fucking. That looks so good, dude. That looks so good, bro.
What I
And then
was
I'm
talking about
also
is South of Midnight. That game looks fucking awesome.
South of
Okay.
Midnight. Let me see about that. What sense?
It's like about Deep South Cajun mythology. It's about this girl that like finds out about like she's figuring out her like deep Cajun like voodoo like witch like heritage. It looks wild, man.
Damn, I gotta try that. I gotta try that. They got a new Sword Art coming out.
That's right.
Uh, and then that Dragon Quest 2 HD 2D remake, which is an interesting concept. Oh, but that's what we were talking about. Because I see it right here. We were talking about Dragon Age.
Yeah,
That's what we were talking about.
you're talking about Inquisition.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
but
the new
the
one that's coming out.
the
Yeah.
Veil Guard. So right now, if you have on Xbox, get 10% off with EA Play. Think I might pre-order it.
Oh yeah.
And then of
Yeah.
course I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Fuck what everyone
I can't
says.
can't wait for that. That's gonna be great. I know it. I know
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
just tend to kill it. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're back.
Currently, I am waiting on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We are
Yes, I see that here too.
50 days away.
And I can't wait. You're getting me back to like Budokai days, and that's what I want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably
that,
gonna grab Undisputed too. The boxing game. That shit looks pretty good. I was a big fan of Fight Night.
oh yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, Fight Night
man, but yeah,
was undisputed in.
but I think the game that we could all 100% agree on that when this comes out, it better be the best game in existence, and Ghost of Tsushima 2, man.
Yeah, man. I'm currently playing my second run through of the original, and
I have no doubt in my mind that Ghost of Tsushima 2 will be, because the first one was already great, and it's like honestly, they could probably like if they go the corporate route and they just give us more of that, they'll be able to skirt by. But I know they'll probably add more things, so it's gonna be real. Like I have no doubt in my mind, like that Ghost of Tsushima is gonna get that like Last of Us treatment. You know, because Sony, there's a few IPs that Sony just really takes care of. Like, and I think that Ghost of Tsushima is gonna be a new one. You know, it's gonna be up there with like their Spider-Mans and like just because that game. I don't think anybody was expecting it to be that good, but then like when I just remember walking through the area with all like the blue flowers, and like the wind was like blowing through, and I was like on a late night, and I remember this is when I first started streaming too. Like it's when I first got to play PlayStation 4, because both times in the career streaming, I bought a PlayStation just for Final Fantasy, and that's when the remake came out, and I ended up getting into Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us just on some like, because I was like, fuck, I can't just buy this console just for the Final Fantasy. And then like the second time around, like this time, it was the same thing. I bought it just for the remake and Stellar Blade, and like they're just PlayStation definitely has like, and it's crazy. PlayStation has like better single player games.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
way better single player. Yeah. Yeah, way better story driven games. Yeah.
So something, man, like with you being the one that's playing it now most recently, I guess like, you know, what is your truly favorite part of the game?
Honestly, it's just how beautifully the story is. Like we just got finished watching Shogun not long ago.
I need to watch that real bad.
Then you're like watching, and you're like, this could have been easily have been like a Netflix, FX, or some kind of series. Easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and they're working on a Ghost of Tsushima movie, and I think the main guy from Shogun is going to be in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think he's going to be playing Ghost's uncle.
Wow. That'd be awesome.
Which he's perfect for it. Like without a doubt.
I mean, honestly, he could play Jin.
Yeah, he could play Jin too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that movie. As long as they don't give it the Uncharted treatment, that's all I ask.
Yeah.
Don't really try to Americanize it too much.
Yeah. But yeah, God, like, and I think for me, my favorite part of the game was truly just wandering and finding the new sword sets that you could find at the shrines.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite thing was the legendary swordsmen that were scattered throughout the land. It just gave me the kind of like that old school like Assassin's Creed Black Flag where you had the ships in the corners of the maps.
Yeah.
Like the ghost ships. Like it had that, like, man, and then like the sceneries, bro. Like the different areas with the different colored like flowers that were growing there. That was very memorable, bro.
Oh, yeah. And it's like the cut scenes where like some of the cutscenes where they're about to fight, the one-on-one battle to end like a saga, or like at the end of a mission where he's just sitting there with his horse behind him and it's like some kind of beautiful scene in the background. Like the scenes were immaculate.
What do you name your horse?
Nobu.
That is always a good. I go Kage.
Yeah. What was Kage again?
Mine's
I think Shadow, something like that.
Nobu was Shadow.
Nobu was Shadow. God, I can't
yeah.
remember
I'm always mad inappropriate with the names. So.
Well, they gave you the three options. It was Nobu, Kage, and
I don't remember
whatever the one that sounded like the most dirty in my mind, I probably just picked.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that's too perfect.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, like that, without a doubt, the most beautiful game you could ever ask to play.
I remember petting foxes too.
Yeah, going to the shrines.
Petting foxes. Oh,
you
man.
you get to write haikus in the game like that.
Yeah,
the haiku.
Swift as the wind. You're looking for inspiration in the dude. Yo, and the multiplayer wasn't bad either. Honestly, I remember playing multiplayer with my buddy Jesus. Yeah, that shit's not bad at all.
I haven't played that mode yet, but I hear it's great.
Yeah, I'd be down to jump on something like that. That shit would be pretty lit.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. That's probably, I think, the game I look forward to the most. Obviously, we talked about some other ones, and we still have like Star Wars Outlaws that's coming out. I still don't know how to feel about it. I think it will probably, it'll still be fun. Don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna get it. Like
Did you see the planet landing system?
That looks dope. Because they compare it to Starfields, and I think it blows Starfields out of the water.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. Like the way you enter those atmospheres, bro. I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but I was like, fuck, man. I was like, that is very appealing right there.
Yeah, Outlaws comes out in what, 3 days? 2 days?
Yeah, the 30th. So it comes out August 30th.
Okay. Yeah, so
real
look forward to that. Sparking Zero. There's a bunch of titles coming out. It's going to be a good end of the year. NCAA football has been ruining my life.
Dude. Well, and the fact that you can port your character from that over into Madden 25 is just the best thing.
Yeah. That's a deal. That's like you get a free sequel in less than a month. Let me see. We got the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster coming out. We have the Epic Mickey Rebrushed coming out.
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, we got a game called Throne and Liberty. I got to check that out. We got Sword Art coming out. Undisputed Sparking Zero. A game called Metaphor. And then we have Eternum Deluxe Edition New World, which is coming out. Quiet Place The Road Ahead. Then we got Sonic and Shadow Generations coming out. Yes. Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Whatever Call of Duty. Like I'm sick of it.
Life is Strange, Double Exposure.
Yeah, so
this one that we're hyped about, Dragon Age
the year's gonna end up with a bang. Gonna end out with a bang.
Yeah, there's some amazing games coming out. And that's just what's on here. Like there's probably some sneaky titles that somebody's gonna drop in there. I like when people do that. They're just like, oh no, we've been working on this and we just know how to shut our mouths and slowly slide it into the market. And you're just like, how come I didn't know this was coming out? Those are the best games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And speaking of kind of a great end of the season, new season starting, you might as well dive into anime too.
Anime has been on fire this year. Some of the biggest titles so far, probably for anime of the year, I would say Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, and now one anime.
Tough.
I guess Frieren wasn't included. Maybe it'll include Frieren in this year. So Frieren, Journey's End, and then right now one that's going on is Wisteria's Wand and Sword.
Haven't started it yet. It looks right up my alley.
Oh my! I would, if I were you, if you haven't started it yet, I'd let it finish out
That makes sense.
and then just watch it all through, binge it because it's so amazing. Like it that and Kaiju number 8 and Solo Leveling, I've got my full attention. And then another anime that's out right now is Elusive Samurai.
I haven't seen that one yet either.
That show is a lot of fun. It has some moments that's like a little inappropriate, but
No,
for
of
the
course.
most part, it's a really good anime. And then like the last couple episodes have been wild, like a little dark and really gory. So and it came out of nowhere. So like it's really good. I was kind of sleeping on the summer animes. I didn't think they were that good, but you got the My Hero Academia, the latest season, season 7. A lot
Listen,
has been going
a lot goes on. I've
See,
never experienced such a heart-wrenching thing.
It's been a
It
lot.
hurt.
see, I need to get on my anime stuff, man. I have not heard or watched any of these
We can do a watch party.
animes.
I'll rewatch anything, man.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I'll need because I'm just like There's just so many. Every time I go to watch a new anime, someone's like, "Why haven't you watched this one?" And I'm just like, I can't. And they're
I'm
just
doing what
so
I can.
deep. Yeah, they're just so deep, man. Like somebody, I think it was you guys. You guys were just like, "Yo, you need to watch this one called Windbreaker." And so far, that's the one that,
Oh, Windbreaker really damn, that should be on that list too.
That might have been me
yeah,
that said it to you.
yeah. I think that's the one like I want to start with because that seems like that would
Because
be the best one.
that was such an emotionally drawn anime. Like obviously it has like it
Unexpectedly.
yeah, like it's very much like a fighting show, but the overall emotion that it derives from that alone, on top of this isn't really like a spoiler thing or anything, but one of the characters says, "Well, like what's your conversation you're having when you're fighting?" And that was one of those things, one of those moments where you're sitting there like, "Holy shit, I never actually even thought about a fight as being a conversation."
Well, see,
Yeah.
even that, he didn't even say that. He's just like, have you ever had a conversation with
That's
someone?
how he said it.
And
Yeah.
he's like, what are you talking about? I talked to him a bit, but like, why would I talk to him? He's a piece of shit. Like, basically, he's like, no, that's how you get to know somebody. Like having a conversation. It's like when you're fighting. It's like that's when you actually get to know someone and get to conversate with them. And he didn't know what he meant until like no spoilers because it's already happened, but like he starts fighting this guy and he's like starts understanding him as he's fighting and see like why he got to this point and why he's like the bad guy.
Yeah, it's so well done.
Yeah.
I need to check that out. I'm looking at some stuff right now. I'm like, huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets you. And like when you're talking about like the animes that are like bringing out some emotion, like My Hero is really
hmm
twisting and gut wrenching and bringing some emotions out. I remember when My Hero came out and they were like, it's for kids, it's too silly and nonsensical. My Hero is not for kids per se.
No. Like it just like all animes, like for the most part, a lot of the protagonists, the main characters, are people that are like high school, early high school age. Like Kaiju number 8, you're starting to break away from that a little bit, where the main character himself is more like in his early 30s, but he still interacts with a lot of like younger people. But man, that yeah, like I mean, Windbreaker is about high schoolers. Like there's like adults in it, but the main story is about like the high schoolers and like going through that struggle of growing up on top of the struggle of trying to keep the peace of a full ass city.
All right, there we go. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
This boy came in and wrecked everything.
He just wanted to be a part of the stream. I get it.
All my cords are going out. It's been like that for the past few weeks. PlayStation, laptop, microphone, everything.
A little bit of everything.
My controller got a drift in it. I've never had a drift in my controller before. I was like, what the hell
Oh
is
man,
this?
those are the fucking worst.
I think the last time I had a drift in my controller was like 64.
Yeah,
What a time.
I remember that. Yeah. Remember how inevitable that was? Like,
yep.
They had the worst design toggle stick ever.
Nintendo is like definitely going to happen at some point.
Oh yeah.
Even still,
it's inevitable.
Today.
PlayStation as well, the original. Nah, they don't control it good. Well, we used to fuck them up with
them shits used to be throwing up gang signs
when they put that analog in it. As soon as they put that analog in, we were
game over, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. So my hero is this is the eve of the final season. The manga's coming to an end. And so they're going to do one more season, which is the season finale. And then, like, that season is going to be, like, the last season combined with an epilogue as well. So, like, you know, things after, how everything goes after everything ends and things like that. So,
anime, we're going to smoke to my hero right now because it's the farewell season. Put our lighters up in the sky for my hero one time. Even though I ain't seen you, you seem to be making memories for everybody out there. I might come in and review what your life was after the fact. But like, oh, you know what? I didn't know my hero was that cool, man. I should have hung out a lot more when it was alive.
And in all honesty, it'll be better to binge it because then you don't have to sit and wait and struggle.
Yeah, see, that's my thing with stuff because it's like fucking Destiny. Destiny was like that. The game Destiny was like, if I felt like every week I was just like, because I was there and present, I was punished. You know, I was like, fuck, dude. But if you play Destiny today, you just have this fucking epic game. But it was like, I was there when you had
I was there from the beginning.
When you had to wait.
I'm going to send you actually a list. I'm gonna put Windbreaker up there as well. But I'm gonna send you 5 animes you should watch. I'll say them now. I'll send you Windbreaker. I'm gonna send you the Fate series.
Dude, Fate is 100%.
Okay, so I've watched Fate, Fate, the night one.
The
Fate/Night.
Yeah.
Fate
Night.
Yeah. With the white hair dude.
They're all fucking. They're all.
Yeah, I watched that one.
They got a couple other spinoffs that are like weird and not that great, but like they're also pretty good in their own sense.
Yeah.
And then they got like a musical as well. It's deep. But it's not like super deep where it's all straightforward. It's just they cared about it and loved it so much, so they have a bunch of different things. And the good thing about Fate is you don't have to watch them all in order, like at all. You don't even have to do that.
Yeah, I saw the one with the guy with the white hair, and then there's the one with the chick.
Archer. Yeah. And then you were talking about Arthur. She was Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Fate. Maybe World Trigger. I think you'll like World Trigger a lot too.
Good one.
Yeah, I love World Trigger.
The new Trigun. I think that'd be a good one.
See,
I've watched the old Trigun.
I'm not sure if he'll like the new one because of the animation.
See, I am very much. I'm not a fan of animation like that, but I think it worked.
I'm a fan of him trying it out, but the story is really good. So
yeah,
it's
they do Trigun justice. They really do.
Okay, because I definitely watched the shit out of some Trigun.
Yeah,
I know about Bash.
When this animation came out, I was against it, and then it kind of won me over with a couple different animes.
Mm-hmm. Zom 100. I think that'd be a good one too.
Not yet. A little too weird.
And like, okay, that's
Crazy.
fair. It can get wild. I guess it can get wild.
I would give him Chainsaw Man before that.
That's fair.
Which is
That's
wild. But I was gonna say Blue-Eyed Samurai.
that's a good one. I finally finished that.
Okay, I
Um,
think I'll probably start with Windbreaker. That
Yeah.
one seems the most appealing.
And then I forgot Hell's Paradise.
that is also fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They put
the
they
list
put
can go on.
yeah, they put most of these on Netflix, which is a good thing too. Like
Yeah,
they just
they
like,
made it easier to access.
yeah. So it'll be fun when you're bored. You're like, oh, I got something to watch.
And then when you're really ready, we'll show you Food Wars, which might be one of the most uncomfortable things.
It may turn you off of anime completely.
Yeah,
Food Wars.
you know what? You maybe just avoid it. Like you go in thinking like, oh, this sounds cool. It's a culinary anime, but nah,
It
it's
just
not.
changes it. I don't know. That might be the one for me though.
Perversion.
It does a lot of like
It's like
fan service.
Well, you've heard of a food gasm, right?
Yeah.
They really play on
they
that
really play off of that.
with high schoolers.
Really play off of that.
Okay.
So that's why it's like you gotta yeah. Again, anime, all the main characters, like 99% of the time, are all gonna be like high schoolers. Or they're immortal beings that have high schooler bodies.
I wouldn't say 90% of the time, because I always tell people there's tons of anime.
That's fair.
Stuff for everybody. So like you can like almost majority of like there you can totally avoid animes like
You
that.
can. It's truly easy, but you got to be aware of it.
You just also have to know what you're looking for too. That's why I like Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Crunchyroll makes it super easy.
They do. Shout out Crunchyroll. We'll take a sponsorship. Bring it.
But yeah, there's a lot of anime. Other TV shows. You started Batman Cape Crusader?
Oh, I finished it. Like it took me no time. Man, it felt good. It truly did. Because Batman Cape Crusader is essentially the prequel to the Batman animated series that we grew up with. So it's truly showing Bruce Wayne in his early days as Batman, where Batman consumes his life, and it's really obvious he doesn't know how to balance out the Bruce Wayne and Batman like masks he has to put on. And they also take a lot of liberties with stuff. Like, for example, episode number 1 is about Penguin. And fun fact, Penguin in the series is like a 6-foot woman. She is built and terrifying. So it was like I was like, oh, they're rolling with like the strong woman aspect in this series. I'm like, okay, I get behind it. I like it a lot. Detective Gordon, he's black. I'm just like, man, y'all are really taking you're having your fun with it, and I love it.
So they
I'll have to check that out.
They successfully did with the Scooby-Doo HBO series.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they figured it out. They watched Velma and they're like, well, we're not going to do that.
We're going to take the things he did and not do that.
But
that one was horrible.
Because like they also have,
I was too afraid.
They have great people as like the producers. Like J.J. Abrams is one of the producers of this show.
Yeah, that's why I was like totally for it. It was like J.J. Abrams and someone else I can't remember. It was like two big director names.
Like it's just so well done, and like one of the things that will forever stand out is, and kind of spoiler, kind of not, sorry, but like I just have to say it, is that Batman refers to Alfred as Pennywise.
Yeah.
Instead of like his actual like first name for a minute.
Mm.
And they also even bring in some characters like as very, very deep cuts that show up in like the Constantine storyline more so than the Batman storyline.
What? That's
So
crazy.
that was such a cool fucking thing to experience too. Like I was so happy with it. Truly, truly
Yeah,
just
I think I'm
well
gonna
done.
jump off of this and watch that. That's one
Yeah.
I've been.
No, seriously, I recommend it and talk about it because it was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
either that or Diablo.
No, yeah, like, both are great choices.
Yeah.
Oh, little man's back. What up, buddy? But man, yeah, Batman Cape Crusader, they truly killed it.
Yeah,
Um, and especially like with the voice actor that does Batman, obviously it's hard to beat the OG,
yeah.
but
Dude,
he does a good job.
I just remember turning it on and watching it for the first 15 minutes. I was just like, I couldn't pay attention. It was just so nostalgic and like I got it was weird. I got
Yeah.
chills, like got emotional, like watching the
Mhm.
opening scene. I was like, oh my
Yeah. No,
God.
like the intro is just through and through almost like it's like a revamped new version of
It
the
is
intro.
chilling how awesome it is and
His
how
bat suit is like the original bat suit with like little to no gadgets. It's truly
I
him
like
being a detective
I I
and being a martial artist.
I started
That's
freaking out over like the stupidest things, like the henchmen of the first bad guys that you see. I'm like, oh my God, look at these like old school 1950s
Yep.
or 20s style bad guys in their trench coats and their accents. I was
Oh
like,
my God, yeah.
this is
It's
Gotham.
everything.
This is the Gotham I
It,
grew up on.
Huh.
it's everything. It really is.
Yeah, I think on that note, Flame might have to exit this
No,
stream.
yeah, the little one woke up and he's not going back to sleep, and I guess I have to. So I was just about to
Yeah.
say we got it. We got to end it on that.